Well, I'm going to get ready to DA this hood down. Actually, this is, what do you call this? Panel adhesive? This isn't Bondo. There was like a little rust spot. I killed all the rust. I put panel adhesive on it. And it ain't going to freaking screw up. This dent is still here, but it's mostly out. I just put some JB Weld over this. So I'm going to DA this down. JB Weld, man. Now, if you want to know how to do this right, you go over to Pete, Southwest Custom and Rod, DIY Auto School. Actually, I'm going to tell you how to do this quick and dirty. The paint will stick. I'm using Rust-Oleum rust-killing primer. Then I'm using truck bed lining over this, and we're going to DA this whole thing down, clean it off. But first, I got to start this puppy up. Stick a little starting fluid in it because it's probably been sitting a little while. Found the best place to put starting fluid in this thing actually is in this hose right here. It goes right into the vent bowl if you can get it in there. Usually that works. And without taking the wing nut off even, so that's faster. Yeah, actually I had to use my hot start battery charger. Maybe I have to replace that battery. Probably it's getting too old. So gonna go ahead and pull it out. You know, I got so many cars I don't use them all the time. That's the problem. So anyway, that thing worked good though. 50 amps. Good old standby manual battery charger. Works great. In other words, it's got the hot start on it. Yeah, actually I have a couple of these DA sanders. This is two of them actually. I could use it in both hands. I'm just going to use the one. It's got, you know, these kind of, it goes on here with like Velcro paper. You just make sure the holes are in with this. Yeah, it works pretty fast. DA stands for dual action. So it goes in a circle, and then it goes back and forth and in a circle at the same time. So it does pretty good. Actually, if you're very, very skilled with the DA sander, really what you need is a DA sander and a board sander. You pretty much do everything. Some people can actually get away with just the DA sander, which is crazy. But also want to tell you, I'm going to be putting a new top on here someday, fairly soon. I got the DVD on it. I'm going to study it up, so that'll be up in a future video. And just to let you know, make sure you stay healthy while you're working on these cars. Got some a full kilogram of ascorbic acid. I'm going to make some more liposomol. So just got to throw that in this video. But this little puppy works fast. And what grit am I using here? I think it's 180 or something. Yeah, 180. Probably do something more than that, but like I said, this is just going to have truck bed lining. It's not going to have nothing special on it. And probably leave this thing running a little while, let the battery charge up some more too. Or maybe I'll shut it off with the charger on it, because I think this battery's kind of had it. I found out too, I just want to throw this in this video, if you use that Epsom salt in the battery, it does give you more power to the battery, but it does not hold the charge as long. That's the that's the flip side to it. So when I put there's going to be HHO in this kit on a future video. So I want to get this done first before I put the HHO kit in it. I'm going to put these things on here next with doing this. And then the HHO kit's going to go in it, but I'll be making the brackets here soon too. This is getting done right now. And this is a good way to do a Jeep, because you want to actually have truck bed lining on the hood where you get a lot of freaking rocks. And over down here on the front of the fender and all along the bottom. And you can have this paint. But for a Jeep, you basically want truck bed lining all the way up through here where it gets crap on it, rocks and stuff. And DA's taking too long. It's good for freaking Bondo or something like that, or filler. But I'm going to use the freaking belt sander on this puppy real quick. And actually had to fix the belt on here, the paper, brand new, but I'm so old it freaking put Gorilla Tape behind it. So That'll rough it up fast. After about 3 minutes of sanding with the 180, and I also realized the belt sander wasn't going to work right, I used 60. I had some 60. I says, there we go. I was thinking I was going to use 80, but that's all I had was 60. It's tearing it up fast. So the one thing I got to do though is this actually was spray can paint that was put on here about 10 years ago, and it was out in the sun. So that tells you, you know, if you put it on there right, even spray can paint works. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. So 10 years ago. So on a hood in the sun. It wasn't in that thing. That thing's only existed for about a year. So it does freaking work if you prepare it right. Anyway, so I'm going to get the edges here and on the top, wash it down, clean it off with some chemical shit, and then put some paper around it, and we're going to hit it with the Rust-Oleum shit first, and then the truck bed liner. Okay, so all I'm doing is trying to get this paint to stick and dry it off real quick. Still got a dent up there, but nothing like it was. I'm going to put some paper around here and the primer, and the paint will stick. As long as it's roughed up good and it's clean chemically, it will stick. And when you're using truck bed lining, ain't nothing's going to show. Yeah, that's one reason I kept the paper from the top when it came in. I got the new convertible top on this thing, so I kept the paper. I says, you know I'm going to use the paper for painting. So there it is, you know, I'll put it around the hood. So first thing this is going to get is this stuff. This stuff is actually pretty damn good shit. It sticks to really, really good, and it's have truck bed lining over it. Rust-Oleum, same brand. You always want to stick with brands, even if it's spray cans. It'll work. Believe me, it will work. Basically, it's a real quick coat. Let it flash off, and it's going to get the truck bed lining on it right away. So that's it. I'll tell you though, I've done shit like this for many, many years. Even though it's wrong, it'll stick. As long as the surface is roughed up, it doesn't have a bad paint job to stick to. Even though it's spray can shit on there, that spray can stuff that was put on there is actually still pretty solid because it's been on there for freaking 10 years, even though I didn't take it all off. And as long as it's clean, as long as it's got the chemicals off of it, the paint will stick. It'll stick on there for freaking years. It's not going to look like a freaking car paint job. The thing is, it's just getting truck bed lining, and it's not going to have rust. No rust on this Jeep. Well, like they say in the military, good enough for government work. So this will be it. And actually, if this comes out okay, I'll do the whole damn thing in truck bed lining, because this way I don't have to screw with it if it gets a freaking scratch on it, man. It might just do it that way, but I'm kind of curious about painting some enamel on the side here so I can practice. But then again, I don't know, because my practice on this puppy. And actually, I DA'd this because it was like the paint was flaking off. I DA'd that about 10 years ago, and that's just spray can duplicolor, and the sun hits this all the time. And did it screw it up? No. That's what I'm telling you. If you freaking DA it, it's got something to grip on, and it's chemically clean. Even cheap-ass paint sticks. It's got to be chemically clean. It's got something to grip on. You can paint any truck like that, and it works. It will last. It will fade out, but it'll last. It's when you got grease on it or you don't sand it, that's when it freaking comes off. Well, that's it. So it's still tacky. It's drying. So that'll be all right. I don't give a damn. It's good enough. And you got an old Jeep. It's the stuff to have put on it versus primer. For this area, it took like about 1 can of Rust-Oleum, but you can do it in pieces. That's the whole thing. If you get scratched up, very hard to scratch. You know, once it dries up good, Rust-Oleum truck bed spray liner. You know, it's great for a Jeep or a work truck or some crap like that. So good to go.